I'm never going to be consistent with Instagram stories. I'm never going to post a get ready with me type of video. And I will never put a vlog out on YouTube. I was talking about myself, but they are things that my audience could relate to, pain points that they're having. So that's how you relate it back. Or let's say you're selling something. I always provide value, either inspirational, educational, entertaining, and then pitch the product at the end. We can always be selling because we wouldn't be in business. We would just have a very expensive hobby if we weren't selling. So we can kind of do all of it.
Today, I am lucky to have the amazing Amber of A Creative Code joining me. We're going to be talking about how to stop growing followers and to actually start growing a community. Key word in that is community. What would you suggest to do to grow your community on Instagram?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing, and you can attack this in a bunch of different ways, obviously play into your strengths, who you are as a person. So for me, as much as I love content creation, I love Instagram, I know that I am never going to be consistent with Instagram stories. But I know some people absolutely pop off in stories, and that's how they build their community. And I love that for them. You do you. It's just never going to be my thing. Where I like to build my community is personally, I like those personal relationships. Even though my audience is so much bigger, on Instagram is the only place you can get one-on-one time with me in DMs if you're not purchasing a product from me. So that is the way I build my community. People know that they can always reach out to me with a question. And especially if we have a relationship in the DMs, I love sending like voice notes and voice memos, or sometimes I'll turn the camera on and send like, you can do like a video message in DMs. Like I love doing that. Again, lean into what works best for you. Some people are like, Amber, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm like, it is. Building a community is a lot of work. I'd rather do that though than jump on stories every day. That's just not my thing. But lean into what works best for you. And my other thing of building my community is showing my personality. You know, I do have to be careful on other people's channels and stuff, but I love to curse. Like people know me. I love to like swear like a sailor.
You've been good so far.
Like, I always try and be aware of it when I'm on other people's channels, because I know not every audience enjoys that. My audience does. So they know like I'm injecting my personality into my content where I show up, and making sure, even though yes, I have a business and I have a brand, I am showing my personality. And people are either going to reject that or accept it. And I'm like, the people that accept it are the people that I want in my community. Everybody else can just leave, kind of thing. Yeah, so those are my big ways. Yeah.
Those are the people you want to continue to stay with you, because those are the same advocates and the true community members that will continue to actually not just support you and engage, but also strengthen your message by bringing it out to other people. Exactly. They're the ones that are most likely to share your content on their IG stories. Yes. So you don't have to go on IG stories. Your community members will share it for you on their own IG stories. And it's a win-win. Yes, I love the fact that you brought up personality, because people want to connect with you, not a thing. Yes. You know, when there's like a barrier or just like it's nonchalant, there's no personality, people can't connect to that. They want to see a face. They want to see and get a brand voice in a way from who they're going to connect to and support as a community member. One of the other ways that I want to suggest is engagement. Now, when people hear this word, they figure they just got to go through the feed and hit like. That's not what I'm talking about with engagement. I'm speaking about genuine comments that lead to even more conversations, whether it's just directly to that one person you responded to, or even others that might read that comment and want to join in on the conversation. I think you have to start really considering engagement as a real high-level ticket to actually building community members, because you start to foster dialogue. And when you bring in dialogue and start conversations, that's when you start meeting new people that are interested in your content. They have something to share that you might learn from as well. So I think engagement is really key in regards to that, as well as like choose specific type of topics that your audience wants to see. Another form of engagement, because you're directly engaging with the audience, and sometimes they're telling you what they want, so you got to listen to them and pay attention and provide that value.
Absolutely. Going into that too, like I love all the points you mentioned. You can leverage community in the content you're creating. I love how you mentioned that at the end. One of my biggest tips, I love to respond to people's comments with a video. And sometimes this feature is a little bit glitchy on Instagram, but either way, you can just screenshot their comment and put it in your video. You know, anybody can do this, even if you don't have that like reply to a comment with video feature. It's not available everywhere. literally take a screenshot of something your community member asked you, like whether it was in the comment section, whether it was a DM, obviously ask permission if it was a DM, if they don't mind you sharing it publicly, and respond with a reel. It shows that not only are you engaged with your community, you are taking the extra step to deliver a valuable piece of content and not just respond with emojis. Like that is one of my favorite ways to do it. And it encourages other community members to comment. Like people that might have been those lurkers, it tells them like, I'm safe with her. I can ask this question and I will get it answered either right away in the comments, in a DM, or maybe she's going to create a piece of content and feature me, which is like one of my biggest things. I'm like, I would love to feature people in my stories and my reels and things like that. So that's another great way of leveraging content. And that's one less content idea you need to come up with and grow your community that way. I always tell people, I'm like, it's free content ideas from your audience, asking questions that, you know, they need answered, that kind of thing too.
Yes, great ideas. I'm going to lead off with my last one, and then we'll go to you for one more in regards to tips on how to stop gaining followers and how to start growing a community. My last one is going to be to actually support the community. And what I mean by that is to create content that your community wants that is valuable. There's so many pieces of content that I see on Instagram right now, but it's more of a me attitude. So you put more information about yourself. And that's fine to a degree, but it should be mostly more for the community instead of about what you want. Because ultimately, you got to create value that they are looking for, whether it's in Instagram tips, your IG stories. You could do it from a point of view where it's still valuable to them. Go ahead and show behind the scenes of how you created a video or a graphic that they can actually take and learn and then practice themselves. That is value, and you're doing it in a personal way. So go ahead and consider those type of tips to continue growing your community. Now for Amber, for your last one, what would you like to leave the audience with?
Yeah, so I think that's super important. Everything that you've mentioned, building community in that way, the giveaways, there's so many different things that we can do and leverage, so many unique Instagram features. And I think the biggest thing you need to think about, even if you're talking about yourself, you know, I'll just give, for instance, I literally just created like a really quick and easy piece of content. I wrote something up in my notes app, screenshotted it, and put it up there. Something that I was struggling with. And even though I was talking about a problem that I was having, I knew it would like really resonate with my audience, and it's something they needed to hear. So basically, the piece of content was, I'm never going to be consistent with Instagram stories. I'm never going to post a get ready with me type of video. And I will never put a vlog out on YouTube. And for me, it's one of those things, I was talking about myself, but they are things that my audience could relate to, pain points that they're having. Because again, with my audience, it was more so people struggle showing up consistently. We see all these trends and these fads and we try and jump on everything. And that's not attainable for a lot of business owners, nor should it be. So I was addressing their pain point with something I was also struggling with and talking about myself. So that's how you relate it back. Or let's say you're selling something. Anytime I'm doing a campaign or talking about a product, I always provide value, either inspirational, educational, entertaining, and then pitch the product at the end. We can always be selling because we wouldn't be in business. We would just have a very expensive hobby if we weren't selling. So we can kind of do all of it, but always providing that value. Like I love selling with memes or, you know, funny reels or things like that. So that's kind of my big way of still building that community while also building your business and growing your brand. So yeah, that's what I'm going to leave with.
Guys, I hope you guys had your notebooks out, your pens and papers, and took notes for that, because I think a lot of gems were just dropped between myself and Amber in regards to how you can step forward and start growing your community today. Most of everything that we just discussed, you don't have to wait. You don't need to wait for that next week to start. You can start today by doing some of these ideas that we just suggested to you guys. So go ahead, move forward with these suggestions that we gave to you guys. And like I always like to say, go ahead and step your gram up.